Hey, good evening, and welcome to our Wednesday night weekly update. It suddenly struck me that if folks are coming in a little late and they take a look at the comment section there, they're going to be wondering, why did Len talk about shaving his head in mid-March? And that is because I posed the question in the introduction here, when did you last have your haircut? Which explains why Shara's saying last summer and Andrew's suggesting that maybe tonight. For me, I haven't had mine cut since January 24th, so it's been a while, and it will be a while yet. So, hey, if you don't like a pastor with long hair, I'm afraid you're just gonna have to get used to it for now. Anyway, we're glad to have you here on this beautiful Wednesday evening. We don't want to keep you too long, but we do want to give you an opportunity to get caught up with one another online and to get caught up with what's going on in the life of the church. This Sunday, we do have our congregational meeting following worship. So an email went out from the office today outlining how that will take place. But we will be electing new elders and deacons to serve the church this coming Sunday at 11 a.m. And immediately following that, as part of the same Zoom meeting, the foundation will be hosting their meeting to elect their officers as well. So after worship Sunday, we do hope you'll be able to switch from YouTube over to Zoom and join us for that meeting. All our church members are invited to come and participate in that and make sure that we get the elders and deacons that we want. I've been posting this hashtag that you can see at the bottom here, hashtag FPCWBL, for a while, and I do check it every week. And we did have one piece come through this week on it that I want to share with you. This is going back to Prohibition days, so I'm guessing Meg Todd is probably responsible for this, but here is a newspaper article from Thursday, May 24th, 1928. Planting moon by church as service is dismissed proves serious for Parker. Apparently several pints of moonshine were placed on the church grounds back during Prohibition, and you can see the elders there down to the bottom of the left-hand column that were present. The Reverend, well, first of all, I thought it's funny that the Reverend A.H. Crombie had chosen the text, and a man crept in unawares when they caught this guy planting moonshine in the church. But one of the elders there was Elder Stoddard. That's of the Kitty Stoddard and James Stoddard family. So they were part of busting this guy, and so you can find the rest of this. You can read through it another time, but it's available on the White Bear Historical Society webpage. He did get fined $100 for planting moonshine on our church property and suspended sentence of sentenced to 90 days in jail. I guess it wasn't suspended, was it? Yeah, it was suspended. Okay, he got the suspended sentence of 90 days in jail for 4 pints of moonshine on the church. I guess things have changed in this church a little since 1928, because many of us do enjoy heading out and enjoying a drink with one another. And hopefully we'll be able to do that again before too long. But if you'd like to have a socially distanced drink at some point, let us know, and maybe we can organize something there as well. This week, I had a chance to sit down with one of our high school seniors, Mackenzie Petty, and talk with her about what is going on in her life right now and what it was like to come through this last part of her senior year without what we think of as the normal routine for seniors. So I'm going to play that interview right now, and I hope you enjoy this short time with Mac Petty. Well, hey, listen, I want to just say thanks for agreeing to do this. I know for our Wednesday night pieces, we just wanted to try to change things up a little bit and have an opportunity for people to hear from some of the members of the congregation. And I thought, it might be kind of fun for them to hear from one of our high school seniors, which happens to be you.
Well, I guess we'll see. Don't thank me yet. I was gonna email you and be like, do I need to prepare anything? What are you gonna ask me? I don't want like
No, I mean, this has not been a normal year for you as a high school senior. Although you have no experience that's any different as a high school senior, but you certainly had expectations coming into the year as to what these final few months might look like. And, how have you seen that disrupted? And how have you dealt with that internally?
well, at the beginning of this year, I was definitely thinking at the end of the year, it's going to be my time to just unwind and hang out with my friends and kind of enjoy the last part of my senior year. And obviously, I can't hang out with my friends or things like that. But with technology and everything like that, I'm really I'm able to talk to my friends and see them through this kind of platform and things like that. I'm also an extrovert though, so I love being around people, and so that's also kind of hitting me kind of hard. But I don't know, overall the whole world has been very nice and thinking about the class of 2020, and so from that standpoint I feel very loved and very thought of, and I think that's been super huge in dealing with all this. And I don't know. It is different. I was planning on naturally going to graduation and things like that, having a grad party, all this other stuff, and we're having to figure out different ways to do that. But we're managing to, and that's all I'm asking for, I guess. But it is nice to hang out with my family more often. If it was just a normal senior year, I probably wouldn't be home as much. And it's nice to come up to our cabin and enjoy this more. And so I think from that standpoint, it is good from that side, but it is different than what I imagined it would be.
I bet you're certainly already found a way to put a very positive spin on it. But certainly, when you came back from spring break, it was schools were closed
Yeah.
and didn't know when school was going to get back. And probably the first thing to get canceled, other than school itself, was prom. Um, do you have plans for prom, and did that strike you? I mean, how did that hit you?
Well, originally prom was actually going to stay on because originally it was only for school was only canceled for a week or so.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, this is fine. But over spring break, I had originally bought a dress. So I was planning on coming back and having that all done and everything. So from that standpoint, I was like, okay, I just spent a lot of money on a dress and now I won't be able to wear it. But I didn't have huge plans for prom. I was gonna go with my friends, and it was just gonna be a last hurrah and enjoy it from that standpoint. But now I just wear the dress around the house. It's a lot of fun. It's just a great way to do that. But yeah, I think prom was one of those things that I was looking forward to at the end of the year. So just watching things get canceled is just kind of oh, well, there goes another one. Oh dear. But yeah, I think I was looking forward to graduation the most, and playing in the band during graduation, because we have this last song that we play What a Wonderful World. All the seniors join in and we play with the younger crew at our graduation, and I was really looking forward to that. But as graduation got canceled, I think that hit me harder. I don't know.
Yeah. You didn't get a lot of band stuff this year, this final part here now. And now no graduation, no throwing your cap in the air, no all night party. It's different. I imagine there was a sense of sorrow, a sense of loss in the midst of all that for you.
Yeah, there definitely is. It's definitely up and down. I'll have good or better days, and just I'll be well, this is good, family outside, right? And then there's also days where oh yeah, I am I don't have this stuff anymore. I've lost it and I can't get it back. I can't do anything about it. So there's definitely up and downs, and I have had those sorrow days, just oh well, there's another thing. But I think in general, it's okay.
Yeah, it's hard to feel too bad when you're sitting at the lake right now and
Yeah, it kind of is.
looking out on the water.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous right now. It's like a view. Yeah.
It's certainly a gift to be able to have that opportunity to be up there. But, you said, the idea of friends and being an extrovert and wanting to be with people. I'm an introvert, so I'm, more than happy to, be socially distanced a lot of the time, although even I struggle with it at this point.
Mhm.
How have you managed to keep connections alive? I mean, Zoom's obviously not going to that's not going to cut it in and of itself for you.
I mean, overall, it hasn't really been cutting it, and I am definitely feeling more down just because I'm not surrounded by people, and I definitely don't have as much energy, and I'm definitely feeling the toll that it's taking on me. But I have Wednesday night church, which is great. I think twice a week I do yoga with my friend in the morning. We were like making it a common thing. I have gone out and we've like socially distanced and stuff like that just to get like ice cream or random things, just to get out of the house and see people, I guess. We're figuring out ways to social distance. Like we've gone to a parking lot, like our school parking lot, and sat in the back of our cars and just ate food and talked and stuff. And we're figuring it out that way. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. Like I need that people interaction, and you can't really get the same feel and atmosphere just on a Zoom call. So from that standpoint, I'm feeling it. So, but we're little by little, I'm getting more used to it.
Do you find most of your friends are pretty good about maintaining the social distancing thing, or do you find that a lot more of them now are starting to just abandon it as fatigue kind of sets in with this whole thing?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person. A couple of my friends are really good, and um, they are very like, okay, well, let's definitely not come near each other and don't hug me. And but other ones are like, yeah, let's just go out. And what about a mask? And I'm like, okay, well, let's grab a mask and if we're going in someplace, let's at least bring something. It definitely depends on the person. I tend to be more like, well, let's stay a little bit distant, but also I just really want to see you. Like
I
it's
know.
like a really, it's a
It,
hard
it-
balance.
it's hard. I mean, it is, we're in the middle of just this crazy pandemic thing. And has your school, why don't you tell folks a little bit about what your plans are for the fall? And then
Yeah.
secondly, has your school made any decisions yet about the fall for you guys?
Yeah, actually, they just did. They're deciding to open in the fall. So,
Okay.
they're also in Wisconsin.
Of course,
So,
it's Wisconsin.
yeah, it's a little more lenient here. But so they're planning on opening. They did close for the rest of the spring. So, they were completely shut down when we shut down. Um, but they are planning on opening. That's pretty much all I have. If everyone doesn't know, I'm going to Lawrence University. It's in Appleton, Wisconsin. So it's about like 4 hours from White Bear. But they are planning on opening, so that's really good news. I'm like really looking forward to that. Um, Other than that, I don't really know. We're just kind of going with it. I'm trying not to like make too many concrete plans just because I don't know what's going to happen necessarily. But we're planning on heading out there early September. So that's still on.
Excellent. You're going to be swimming there is part of the plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any word on the sports front for Appleton and their, NCAA stuff
Yeah,
that you?
I have. Ooh, there's a bee. I haven't heard anything about swimming. Um, all I know is that the school is still opening. Um, my swim team actually gets involved in quite a bit, and over like the Thanksgiving time, we end up going down to Florida and swimming there and stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen with that yet. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm guessing they'll still get us in the pool if they're going to have school open. So, oh, like that. But from that standpoint, everything's just, I don't know. Like,
Everything is very much one day at a time right now.
yes.
And we're obviously, it's a global pandemic. This is impacting the whole world,
Mhm.
and yeah, I have no idea where this is all going to end up. It'll be a while before we all get back to church again together to worship in the same building. And hang in there, Mac.
We're doing it. We're taking it one step at a time. So
Hey,
far,
thank you.
yeah.
Any final words you have for the congregation?
I don't think so. I think you're saying it pretty well. Hang in there. We're all in this together, we're all feeling the same thing, and eventually we're going to get back together, and that's all that matters.
Love Mac's final words there. Eventually, we're all going to get back together, and that's all that matters. And, this is a time for us to continue to be diligent in terms of making sure that we are taking care of the most vulnerable in our culture, the most vulnerable in our society and around us. We're a long way from being done with this yet. I wrote a piece on my website yesterday about the church not opening yet. I wrote another piece today on what happened with George Floyd on Monday night in Minneapolis, and on both of those pieces, I used the same scripture. I quoted from Amos chapter 5, verses 21 through 24. And I just want to share those verses tonight as our sort of thought for the week. Amos chapter 5, 21 through 24, as Eugene Peterson gives them for us in the Message. And Peterson says this. He says, "I can't stand your religious meetings. I'm fed up with your conferences and conventions. I want nothing to do with your religious projects, your pretentious slogans and goals. I'm sick of your fundraising schemes, your public relations and image making. I've had all I can take of your noisy ego music. When was the last time you sang to me? Do you not know what I want? I want justice, oceans of it. I want fairness, rivers of it. That's what I want. That's all I want." I think when Peterson translated the Hebrew for us in the book of Amos, he really captured the emotional side of what God was trying to say in those words. It's not dry, it's not prosaic, it is full of passion. And I think it's important for us to remember that we have a passionate God, a God who is passionate for justice in our world, a God who is passionate against injustice, a God who stands with the poor, the marginalized, and God stands with the poor and the marginalized because all people are created in the image of God. And because we're created in God's image and every person is created in the image of God, we're all equal in the eyes of God. And so when some of us stand above others, sometimes through no fault of our own, sometimes it's just simply because of an accident of our birth. There's a difference between someone who is born in a wealthy suburb in the United States of America and someone who is born in the slums of Africa just by the consequence of their birth. But their dignity as humans is not changed. And so it's important that all of us strive to make sure that the dignity of everyone is upheld and that we don't make it about us and what we want in the world. But that, as Rick Warren reminds us in that opening sentence of his multi-million copy selling book, The Purpose-Driven Life, it's not about you. And so as we continue through this pandemic, let's keep reminding each other that it's not about us. We don't wear the mask for us. We wear the mask for the sake of the other person. Because if we're sick and don't wear a mask, we might pass it on to them, even if they are wearing a mask. We don't wear it for political reasons either. We wear it simply because it makes sense and it's a good sign and evidence that we love and care for our neighbor when we're out and about. So I hope you guys are able to enjoy this beautiful evening that is ahead of us. Hope you guys are able to join us again on Sunday morning for worship and then for our congregational meeting. And may God bless all of you now.